Hello, and welcome back to the Ironman. Here we are in Alcarid Palace, and I have a plan. As I kind of went over at the very end of the last episode, what I want to do today, and in the next week really, is unlock the city of Menaphos and check out some of the things that we can do in that city. So in order to do that, the first step is to complete the Jack of Spades quest, which I can start with the Emir here. Well, it looks like I don't even need a carpet to fly. I wish I had figured this out sooner. Would never have needed to run around all of this game unlocking all those lodestones when you can just do this. Okay, that should be the Jack of Spades complete. It was a fairly quick quest, and that gives us access to the city of Menaphos. So now we can start. We have access to earning reputation now, and we can start doing Menaphos stuff. So one thing I've noticed in the comments of a couple of the episodes so far, a few of you have mentioned that you don't actually play RS anymore. So because of that, I think I'll go over what the stuff that you can do in Menaphos is really quickly. So there's 4 districts, the first of these being the Merchant District, which is the one that we're in right now. And this is, a merchant district. There's a Grand Exchange here, there's banks, and there's thieving that you can do. So you can either pickpocket the marketeers. There's also a safe cracking spot and a few assorted shops, but for the most part, this section of the city isn't super useful for an Ironman who can't use the Grand Exchange. The next district is the Workers District, so this is more of the skilling district. There's mining here. You can either mine sandstone from the mineral deposit. It's also a decent place to mine clay. And there's also a fire pit, so it's a good fire making and cooking spot once you unlock the bank chest for this area. The penultimate area in Menaphos is the Imperial District, and the main focus of this district is woodcutting, and then you also have access to the VIP skilling area, which takes a while to unlock access to, but it has like all of the Menaphos skilling stuff in there. So the woodcutting here is acacia trees. They're decent woodcutting XP just as is, but once you unlock crystallized, they're one of the best ways to train woodcutting in the game. The final district is the Ports District, and this is the one that is going to be by far the most useful for us, and the reason I was excited to unlock Menaphos. So here you can catch the Menaphos fish. There's 3 of them. The ones that I will unlock when I hit 52 fishing are belt fish, so that's when I can get started fishing here. It's just really good mid-game fishing and cooking XP, and they're going to be our main food source for a very long time. Another great thing about the Port District is on certain worlds you can find this person, the gullible tourist, which is like the dream pickpocketing scenario for Ironman. So she's not necessarily great thieving XP, but she has a pretty ridiculous drop table. So check this out. Off of her normal drop table, nothing is that exciting, but she does give this Menaphite gift offering. And then if you're lucky enough to get one of these, some of the rewards are pretty great, including you can get an onyx. Now these are very rare, however, they are pretty much the only way early in the game to receive an onyx outside of, doing high-level PVM, or saving up for one through Tokol. I guess you could do that. No one really does that anymore. This is going to be a great way to get ourselves an onyx. If we end up going down this route, I don't know. It does take a while, but you can pickpocket her, and some of the drops that she gets would be awesome for this account. Well, I mentioned that you need 52 fishing in order to start doing Menaphos fishing, and here it is. There's 52. And of course, for our fish that we're going to be fishing to be usable, we need to be able to cook it as well. So I'm just cooking up the last of the salmon that I caught, getting to 52 fishing, and we got 52 cooking. Before we can start fishing though, we do need to unlock a way to deposit our fish, because with how the Menaphos reputation system works, you have to unlock a lot of this stuff. And the bank deposit box that's right by the fishing spot, we need to be at a tier 2 reputation in order to use it. Currently we're at a tier 1. Thankfully though, you can do any sort of skilling activity at all in Menaphos, and as long as you're aligned with the Ports District, you will get faction XP for the ports. So all I have to do is any Menaphos skilling. I'm starting out with pickpocketing the gullible tourist, and eventually this will get me up to tier 2 in the Ports District, and I'll be able to use the bank deposit box. Got a decent milestone just here on my Bat Slayer task, combat level 50, which means we graduate to a new Slayer Master. Gullible Tourist was a little bit slow and a little bit click intensive for me for gaining reputation in Menaphos, so we're going to change course here slightly. And the way we're going to do that is just by chopping and burning acacia logs. The other options I had for gaining reputation other than thieving was mining the sandstone in the worker district and fishing the fish and just straight up dropping them, as we don't have access to the bank deposit box yet. I didn't really want to do that because fishing and mining are both really good resource gathering skills. And woodcutting is too, but This way I'm burning logs, I'm getting fire making XP, so I'm not wasting any resources like I would be with mining or fishing, where I would just have to drop the materials I'm gathering. So unfortunately you don't get any reputation for burning logs. I'm just testing it out right here. But it is 5.6 reputation every single log you cut, and it's pretty AFK and easy to do. Another thing you can do in reputation in the city of Menaphos is just doing the soul obelisk. It does gradually kill you, but it is really good reputation for doing this. Well, I finally got a daily challenge for the last skill that I had never trained before. Up to this point, I haven't done any summoning. I got 4 summoning from Wolf Whistle, and we're about to summon our first pouches. We have now officially trained every single skill. So I'll turn in these daily challenges. I'm still not to the point where I'm level 10 yet, because the only summoning and divination I've done is like a single daily challenge each. But we're now finally to the point where we're no longer a complete new player in every single skill. One more log should do it, and there we finally have 6k ports reputation, and the bank deposit box is unlocked. So now this is going to be our go-to spot for ports. I'm probably going to switch up my reputation to unlocking the bank deposit box for the other districts, and then I'll go back to ports. Oh, I've made a big mistake. I bought all these feathers planning on using them here, but these aren't fly fish, these are bait fish. That's okay though. In the long run, I will use these feathers probably on Lumbridge. The Lumbridge fishing store doesn't even sell bait packs. I guess I have to go to Port Sarim. But anyway, in the long run, it's not a big deal, because I will use these feathers on making headless arrows or something like that. There are other uses for feathers other than fishing. So I looked on the wiki and stuff. It seems like there just are no bait packs, which is a little weird that every fishing store has feather packs but not bait packs. However, most of the fishing stores do have a different stock, so you can just go buy the 1000 fishing bait several times. It's a bit annoying, but eventually we're not even going to need fishing bait anyway once we unlock that prawn perk thing. And this is just going to be our go-to AFK spot for the foreseeable future. So right now I can only catch desert souls, but at level 60 fishing, once we get there, I'll be able to fish catfish, and then at 72 I'll be able to fish beltfish, which are the best tier fish that you can catch in Menaphos. And honestly, Menaphos skilling has just completely replaced the beach construction for me. I did get up to 69 construction. I'll hit 70 quite easily once I do my god statues for the month. It's just kind of slow, and I'd prefer to work on other skills. Okay, the time has come to start questing again. I wasn't just going to spend all episode fishing, right? So I'm going to do Jungle Potion here. It's the first in a line of jungle quests. Unfortunately, our herb lore is a little too high to make this reward super great, but we're just going to do it. This should be Jungle Potion done. I also made sure to go ahead and grab the extra herbs that I'll need for, Legends Quest and Zogre Flesh Eaters, so I don't have to come back for those. Okay, that is Nature Spirit done. Not the most fun quest in the world, but it's over. Next one is Eagle's Peak. I'm finishing this one up now, and there we go. We get access to the Eagle Transport System and a little bit of Hunter XP as well. Just finishing up Tower of Life. So we now have access to creature creation. I don't really know if that's useful anymore. It might be on an Ironman for gathering some herblore secondaries. And just a quick progress update on the quest points. I'm up to 83. Obviously the goal is 100 because more money. But also I'm just trying to get all of these suggested quests done. There's a lot of green, man. The only one I haven't done is Broken Home in this first section because, I'm kind of avoiding this one, I'll be honest. Not a big Broken Home fan, but I'm going to finish up the rest of the Adventurer section, and then we should be pretty close to 100 quest points. You know, as much fun as I'm having doing all these quests, let's supercharge the quest point acquisition a little bit, just so we can make it to that next milestone. You know, back when I first did this quest in like 2007, I wasn't aware of this because we didn't have the awesome draw distance that we have in the game now. But this dude is shipping to the fort that Morgan Le Fay is at, right? Here's Arhine's boat right here that is, doing the shipment. And there's the dock that they deliver it to. I mean, at this point, why not just carry it over there? It is so close. And it's not like the distance has changed over time. It's always been like this. It's just we couldn't see this fort back in the day. But now it's just very obvious how close by everything is. Okay, Merlin's Crystal done. Time for the big money. 6 quest points. This is only going to happen once. This is the highest quest point giving quest in the game, obviously, at 6, and nothing else is quite that good, but man, that was a lot of progress. We're already up to 89. Feels like deja vu all over again. But if you're going to do Merlin's Crystal, you got to do Holy Grail too, right? So we get a fat amount of defense and prayer XP from that. There's Pirate's Treasure done. I had forgotten how good the reward was from doing Sheep Herder, but this is a 4 quest point, and it's really fast to do, so this is pretty good timed quest point investment. Next quest that we're doing, or I suppose next quest that I already did, is Clock Tower. Maybe the worst quest reward of all time, 1 quest point and 500 GP. Next quest is Observatory Quest. This one has a really cool concept, and that is your reward is based on the constellation that you see in the telescope. It might be hard to implement that in other quests, but I really like the idea. Of course, with any sort of reward, there's always going to be a best one, right? No one wants to get the constellation that gives you strength XP. People want the one that gives you, like, agility XP. But it was a cool idea that they tried out. And it looks like, oh, we got crafting XP, uncut sapphire, and a law rune for that. That's not too bad. And then, of course, the big one is, that is 100 quest points right there. We reached our goal. Here we are back in May. And the cool thing about reaching the 100 quest point milestone is from now on, well, we still get a tier 1 dice for this, but from now on we're going to get tier 2 dice every 25 quest points, which I believe are 500k cash instead of 250. So it's going to get even better. Also, we got a Ceridome Robe Top, which is a decent amount of prayer bonus, and also like a Ceridome item if we ever need that for God Wars. It looks pretty stupid, though. So daily challenge-wise, it is a new week with a new reward system, and this one I'm really looking forward to. And hopefully I'll be able to do everything this week, because day 7 is a Menaphite gift offering large, which gives at minimum 50k cash, and it can be up to 200k. But then in addition to that, it also gives 4 items, one of which could be an uncut onyx. Obviously, it's going to be rare to get the onyx, but there's a bunch of other really good stuff on that drop table too, so I really want to get this gift offering and open it up. Okay, it's time to get our first task from the new Slayer Master. I'm a little worried, so I was looking at Mazchina's possible Slayer assignments he can give. So Vinaka and Ejva had his complete Slayer table rebuilt, all new assignments, all of them balanced very well for someone below level 40 or below level 50 combat. Mazchina has not, so he can still assign some absolute horrible tasks that would be very difficult for me to complete with my current stats. But let's see. Rock Slugs, that's going to be an annoying one, but it won't be too bad. Just very click intensive. So the second task we complete from Mazchina does reward a little bit of a bonus because we've done 20 in a row. Only 10 points. Not exactly a whole lot of points. I just did apparently they added weaker crocodiles. It used to be the only place to kill crocodiles was further into the desert, and they're level 77, and it probably would have been challenging for us at this point. But these weaker crocodiles weren't too bad. They don't drop anything, but decent XP and a fast task. Oh my gosh, rock slugs again, and it's 89 of them this time. It's not going to be fun. So this should be the last kill, and after I salt this rock slug, there is 40 Slayer. I decided to switch over from Menaphos fishing and do some Barbarian fishing for a few hours. The main reason being, I've been stocking up a lot of these prawn balls, and as you open them, you have a chance of getting a random golden fish egg, and we get a cute little 40 agility level here just from doing some fishing. I started out at 37 when I began fishing, so we were able to get 3 levels out of this. But you really don't want... You want the random fish egg to be a fish that you don't want to fish. You want it to be like rainbow fish or something hard to catch like shark. You don't want it to be one of the easier ones. So I was trying to get a couple of the easiest golden fish eggs out of the way. I've been here for, I don't know, 5 or 6 hours, and I have the trout eggs, but I'm still looking for the salmon eggs. But I also don't want to spend forever fishing here, so at some point I'm going to go back to Menaphos instead. So this is a change of gears here. I went quite dry on that golden leaping salmon egg, or trout, whichever the barbarian fish that I was missing. So I went back to fly fishing for a bit, and I was able to get myself one more egg. I'm still missing the salmon one. However, I've devoted quite a bit of time to this. I went from, I think, 52 to 66 fishing, almost entirely just doing fly fishing and dropping it. And while it is great AFK, it enables me to play other games while doing this, and it's quite chill. Fishing and cooking is a really important Ironman gathering skill, so I can't just sit here and drop fish forever. At some point, we have to bank fish and cook them, so we have a food supply. So I may return to this at a later point when I need to AFK a bit more, but for now, I'm going to have to go back to Menaphos fishing. And when I'm not AFKing, I think it's time to finally make the shift from putting the focus on the active playtime from doing quests to doing more Slayer in combat. And the reason for that is, although there still are a lot of quests that you can complete with little to no combat requirements, I think combat is definitely the major bottleneck of this account. Combat is the main way to unlock new content in this game. And also, there's a lot of big scope quests to aim for that are going to require us probably to have, I would say, at least tier 60 gear, especially weapons, just to have the accuracy and damage to kill quest bosses and stuff, and feel reasonably comfortable without dying, because obviously we cannot die on an Ironman account without losing the soul of the account. So we are going to wrap things up for this episode here. I feel like we accomplished quite a bit. We reached 100 quest points, which is a pretty major milestone. We unlocked Menaphos and Menaphos fishing, so we now have a really great way to AFK. And even though I didn't stock up on a whole ton of fish because I spent so much of my fishing time doing barbarian fishing or fly fishing and just dropping what I was catching, I am nearing 72, which is that magical number where you can catch all 3 fish in Menaphos and really train the skill quite quickly and stock up on a really great food supply that's going to last us for a long time. So that's all for me. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.